So, um, just trying to practice what I preach, trying to be what I am, trying to do what I have, whatever. I've here at the hotel. I realized a couple things. Went to the Orioles game. I'm in Baltimore right now. I try to go into this room, but I can't because it's not letting me in. But that's okay because I need to be. I need to become what I want to be. I need to do what I say. That's what I'm saying, right? And typically, um, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to be this mind frame has been in my head for a while. Um, this framework has been in my mind forever. It's late right now. I should probably be in bed, is what my wife would say. Um, it's just in my head spinning. So if you people usually spin on the spectrum of be do have, right? They think about the have when you will have. That's the trickle down effect of what you are. So you will have the things that you truly are, and you will do the things that you truly are. Um, and the unalignment of of being and doing is okay. I want to do this, but I don't have the self discipline to own what I can do, and so it's just kind of a framework that's been given to me. Myron Goldman kind of is the guy. He's the guy. Shout out to you. And so basically, I just love it because it's just like, if you want to have, the entrepreneur will have employees. You can't just say, I'm an entrepreneur, have no employees, or not working to create leverage to have employees. The videographer will, if you're a videographer, you're going to be doing the things like videoing. You're going to be making videos. You're going to be doing that action. And if you're feeding yourself stories, different stories, and you're just passively going through life, well, then you're becoming more confused. I want to be this way. I want to be that way. Okay, this story is in my head. Okay, not that story. The source that you're feeding yourself. You're not learning. You're not focused. Whatever. You're not taking from the source, right? That gives life. Then how will you become what you want to be, right? So it's like there's two things too. It's like you've got your ego, where it's like, if you think that you're good at something, then you stop being better at it. Where it's like, humble yourself, and like that's what Christ was like. He took on the form of a human, even though he was at the highest place. He knew everything. He had the perfect relation, right? Boom, dove down. He's here now, right? And then did his whole story. You know that story. So feed yourself with that story, and you'll be fed overflowing, right? That's probably what he's telling that Samaritan woman is, if you drink from my cup, then you will, have eternal life. He's probably saying that too. So that was the cool thing, is like, if the spectrum of being and doing and having, the be do have spectrum is like, people focus on the have when you need to focus on the being. And how do you do that? Well, discipline, saying what you, extreme ownership, that all stuff. And so what I'm trying to say is, this is a documentary. I'm just doing the things that I want to say, so I can align with me what I'm trying to say. And so um, I'm trying to become a better person, and I obviously failed at it because I went to Baltimore and I was walking through the crowd. I've invented something that will help baseball players for sure, and the Orioles are using it, and a couple players are, and I was just soaking it in. I was like, wow, this has been a long time coming, and it's a long time coming, and I was just like, wow, like nobody knows who I am, and walked through the crowd, and it was kind of peaceful because it's just like, yep, this is happening, right? Like, this is happening, and I failed because I didn't soak it in. I soaked it in myself. So some would say I didn't fail, um, but I could have soaked it in easily, and then just also hopped in on footage and just been ground zero, kind of like how Kanye was confident himself, um, because it's like, it just takes that, because it's like, this footage is probably not going to be seen for another 20 years when you saw what I did, and then it's like, oh, this shows up. So um, it's like, I'm not hard on myself, but I just recognize that I did, I didn't do what I was wanting to. I didn't do what I wanted to become, and so I'm going to is a funny sentence is hopefully I can start realizing I'm becoming a better person. I'm doing these things. I mean, the fact that I got out of the bed, I didn't let anything. I wanted to go in there. I actually wanted, it's like I got to do this, and so I got to do this, and now I'm doing it, and so that's the whole point. Is I want to talk about the spectrum of be, doing, have, and I really want to test it out. Selfishly, I'm just like just make it. It doesn't matter, make it because it's helpful, because the mind frame perspective, and this is a good quote, or I'll talk about that here in a second, but the perspective of just like, okay, wow, like what is my identity tree? Like I want to be a good person. Well, how do you be a good person? Well, it's like you can't do it on your own. Like there's got to be I know from my experience, it's through Christ alone. He is the way. Like there's no other religion, it's like, no, through your experience, no, it's not your religion. And it's, not even a religion with me, it's a relationship with Christ, because Christ is here, he is present. That is one of his promises. He's, hey, I will be with you always. Like he is here, and that is when you realize, like when you are rejoice, again I say rejoice, is you realize that you're in the presence of the King. Christ is here, and he is the giver of life, and it's awesome. And so that is the cool thing. It's just a conviction that I know, so, and that's just what I'm saying is, I want to just do these things so people can understand that, it's not selfish, because I'm trying to give to them, and then working on that part. So give to the peeps, because that's, the good, that's what you find good in, is helping and serving. And it's just fun. It's comical. It's really comical. It's like how people have tapped into the truth. They have tapped into the truth, right? Like, oh, you say that, oh, if all millionaires do it, like, boom, they give to charities, it's like, boom. You could see that. I would say like all consistent millionaires, because it's like give, right? And it's like, it's just crazy. It's like when people tap into the truth, they start to serve others. And it's like, how did you get there? Oh, I started helping someone. It's like, well, duh, like the leverage is in helping someone, right? And like, why is that? Like, love your neighbor as yourself. Why is that the golden rule? Like, why is that the truth? And you find that it truly works, right? So anyways, just becoming the person I want to be by waking up at night when I should be asleep, because we're going to be going to Atlanta tomorrow, and taking it in. So